myself. I forgot. Yeah, let's take a seat. So it's actually going to be a little bit of a talk show. I've never done this. You've never done this, I think. Oh, you did. Actually, you did last time.
Yeah, it went a bit offside last time.
Yeah, so Jan, do you want to do the whole how are you doing thing, or do you say skip it?
Well, unless you think it's added value that I tell the audience that this morning when I stood up and I put my right foot next to my bed, I directly stepped into the warm remains of my cat's breakfast. So imagine that cat went down, had breakfast, then went up and put it right on the spot where she knew I would place my foot. And whether that was an act of love or hate, I don't know, but you know. And we say animals are not intelligent.
Yeah,
so
no, I think we'll skip it.
Okay.
So I guess not so good. So, right, that was a surprise.
Well, actually, it is to prevent people from having the greed for lunch, because we're just before lunch, so talking about vomit and all that kind of stuff, so people will stay here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually...
Yeah, maybe it gives us more time and stuff.
Yeah, it gives us...
So Jan, how would you explain what innovation is within AMS-IX? Trying to get back on the screen.
Yeah, well, for me, it's the best place to be. And of course, innovation is always top of mind, but when you want to execute things, operation is always more important. It's always the chicken and egg story, and it's an uphill battle. But, you know, I kind of like that, because when you go downhill, the only thing you can do is move. So I really love it to work in innovation, dig into a lot of different subjects, and then when you need to dive into something, really, dive into it.
Diving into the different subjects, but how do you decide then which subject is worth diving into?
Now, first of all, I always look what it's really all about. You know, everybody here is talking about AI. For me, AI is a fear industry. You know, people talk about fear all the time. And you see that people are, where we're always talking about is, oh, there are things that are going to be smarter than humans. But, you know, I just told the story about my cat. You know, a cat sees better in the dark. A dog, hears better, smells also better. A cat sees better, and a hiker shits better than a human being. So there are a lot of things that are better in what we do. So, you know, fear is really a bad thing. So if you look at to AI, and I would say stop using AI, because there's no general opinion what intelligence is. So I would turn it to EA, so as an interactive assistant. And when you do that, you get a different discussion, and you see you see developments from a different point of view. So look really into stuff, and then you see what it is.
Clear. So going to some of the projects you have been working on from the innovation side, one of them is time.
Yeah.
We build it.
We build it. We talk about it tomorrow.
Definitely. Yeah. So I do have one question though. Yeah. Why did we start building this?
Why did we start?
Why did we start with the time project?
Oh, that's you have to ask Miguel. It's Miguel's mistake. Of knowing, you say, "Hey, I have this cool thing, time," and then and it's really cool. So we've been working on it for more than 2 years. Yeah. He's sitting over there.
We can. We have a really spotlight.
So we'll dive in time and why it's nice and why it's important tomorrow. So if you're here tomorrow, we have like 5 people talking about time. And then we have 1 hour, so...
We'll deep dive into the time at that moment.
Yeah.
Please make sure that how to count, that little trick you taught us, it was really nice.
Oh, yeah, that one, yeah.
So then there's another one. I know you really want to talk about this one. The one that really sounds tasty to the Dutch people, it's called broodje maps.
Yeah.
A sandwich of maps. It got renamed recently, I believe.
Fix.
Yeah. Tell us quickly, what is this about?
Yeah, there was a bit of opposition against the name. Can we have the next slide? There it is. Broodje map. It is a world map where we display all the data that we have from an IX point of view. This is the data where we started with, is the data from PeeringDB. So we plotted on the map, so you can zoom in and zoom out. We're also going to make a time history or a timeline in it, so you can see the developments of ASNs and IXs over time. We started it actually to see how the IXs we have are doing over time, because we always start with a business plan, and then you can see what happened over the last 10 years or something like that. So that was actually the first part. And if we go to the next one, we started looking into the next slide, please.
Sorry.
Oh, you have a clipper.
I have the clipper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I forgot it again.
That's.
So,
it's also a physical thing. Yeah. Where's AI?
Yeah,
when you need it, it's not there.
Or just voice prompting or something.
Yeah, something like that. Next slide, please.
Yeah, that's me. There we go.
No, previous slide, please.
Yeah, this is the one you wanted.
This is Gemini. This is the one I wanted. Yeah. So we also start to look in the data that we have. And this is part of the data, what you can see, what happens on an IX. So we can start a new conversation with our clients to really add value and say, okay, this is what happened on our IX. This is what you are doing, and this is what we think you can be doing. And therefore, now I have most of our clients here. We want to bring this to the next level, that you can log in with your Salesforce, log in, see your own data, and start a conversation with us what we can do for you, and which data we should add. So if you're interested, I invite you to contact me and start a working group to really dive into your needs and your wishes for developing this tool further. Of course, we have a lot of ideas, but we develop it for you. And I've been working with another work group on a different project. It's called the Traffic Radar. We're working with CDN Alliance, Mark de Jong, Odido, Sven de Koster, KPN, Rob de Ruig, and Steven van Steen from Liberty Global. We work on a project together to see what can we do to create insights on internet traffic. We all know that the internet is always working, but sometimes you have a security update and an ISP is doing maintenance and there's a big live event. So sometimes also, the internet traffic is it's just working because there's a lot of going on. And if people or organization would know what's going on, then maybe you would postpone their maintenance or something like that. That's a very good work group. We've been working with that on 2 years. We're extending that during IBC next year or in September. And I want to create a similar kind of work group for Fix. We forget about Broodje Map for Fix.
For Fix. Broodje Maps is off. We ate it.
We ate it.
We ate it.
You're going to eat it
after
this.
But the traffic radar sounds interesting, especially with capacity planning, right?
Yeah.
With the engineers, we do a lot of capacity planning for our backbones. It would be cool to know when do we expect high peak traffic. So, yeah, I see that as being a valuable addition. Now, for the life of me, I cannot remember what it was. I know we spoke about it in the preparation, but somehow the Fix, not the Broodje Map, the Fix was also connected to AI. Yeah. And I cannot anymore remember what it was.
ChatBGP?
Yes, that one.
That one was it. Yeah. There's, of course, everybody is talking about AI, and when you really deep dive into it, you always run into data and quality of data. So we're working on the future network services, and part of that is that we want to see what we can do with automatic BGP sessions. So we thought, let's start with an AI agent, a BGP agent that we build on top of a large language model, and then see what we can do for our clients to prevent, disruptions in the BGP traffic. So we're working on that together also with the UvA, with Future Network Service, with the Technical University of Delft. And that also will be at the moment that it will be incorporated here in Fix.
Cool.
Yeah. So.
Well, and you just said it already, FNS, Future Network Services. That's the next one where we're going to go. We saw the slide already for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Should we go there? Let's do that, right?
Yeah, the green button.
Yes.
Yeah. Future Network Service. Yeah, we all know it's I forgot the name. Groeifonds. It's a Groeifonds project where like 60 companies work together to define the next stage of the mobile networks, which is called 6G. And we know that the architecture, the ground architecture, the main architecture of the mobile networks is going to change. So on a global level. So we're looking into what will be the role of an IX when the mobile network is going to change and when we have edge, far edge. We just heard that latency is the new currency. So getting the data as close by the user as possible. We more or less define a research project in which we have like a tier-free system in which the hardcore, the IX is the hardware, all the hardware and the cables. Then we have an edge IX and a far edge IX. What we do, I think upcoming half year we will design a small IX of 10 connections, which will be a hardware IX. Then we have a virtual, partially hardware IX with 5 connections, which is a subset of the first IX. And then in the far edge, there will be 3 connections, and that will be completely virtual. It's a research project, and we're going to use AI of EA. EA. We're going to use EA to see whether we can scale it and whether those connections are automatically or by user interaction. And then we can go to the next slide.
Okay.
And that's where we ended more or less last year, and that is, the octopus, which is a completely different animal than most animals, and spread over the internet and not stay on the same part.
So I believe you also prepared some questions, didn't you?
Did I put that? That's for tomorrow.
Oh, that's for tomorrow. Oh, that wasn't for...
Yeah. I was just with Enrique, and she wanted to put up the time questions. But
oh, like that. Oh,
yeah,
we're not for today's...
No.
Because we're going quite fast, actually.
We go quite, but that's what innovation does.
Well, let's say we have different opinions on that.
Let's see. Maybe we can compare notes.
In front of the whole audience. Let's compare notes. But actually, let me check if the Mentimeter has any questions from the audience. I do see a hand. Oh, no questions, I hear. This is, by the way, why I have the earpiece in. So I have Rika, who's keeping an eye on the questions.
I saw a hand.
But I did see a hand here. Yes.
Yeah, with the scaling, the exponential scaling that was mentioned in the previous talk, is that something that we're also innovating toward, being able to handle that capacity of data?
No, I didn't hear it either. So can you be a bit
me.
louder?
Yeah, so with the exponential scaling that we heard in the last talk, is that something we're also innovating toward, to being able to handle that capacity?
That's the fear, in my opinion, that's the fear
industry.
If everybody say, AI is going very quickly, but remember, it took 30 years to get here. And large language models, and traffic the digital society will grow. And everybody is shouting more data centers and more data centers. But if you look at DeepSeek, they stopped, looked back, and came with a different model. So I think we're going to see that more and more, just not, well, we all know Silicon Valley, and everybody is looking at Silicon Valley. But the only thing Silicon Valley can do, and believe that's the only option, is scale as hell, throw a lot of money to it, come with stupid ideas, and throw more money to it, and then one will eventually succeed, throw more money in it, and don't look back. And we all know what the consequences of that is, and we have to deal with today. So I hope that we, instead of going, oh, we need to scale, we need more hyperscales, look back, okay, what do we actually need? And that's why I say artificial intelligence doesn't exist. If you take it as an interactive assistant, then you get a totally different discussion. It's about support, not about fear, but about support where we need to go. And we need that because we are in the transition from an industrial society to a digital society. And all the institutions that we have are based on an industrial society. And in an industrial society, you've got like all these management layers. And they are based on information monopolies. And the good thing about the IA is that, that monopoly of information is going to disappear. So instead of scaling, we need to adopt all the institutions that we have these days to, being an open information society. So I think that's the big challenge. Scaling is just, at one point it stops, and then, we will deal with that. That's not the problem. I think the change of institutions is the real. Oh shit, I should have done this.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, sorry. I saw that on the so yeah, I hope it answers your question.
Are there any other questions in the audience? And it's really hard for us to see with all these spotlights on us. It's
strange.
It's a little brighter than last year, I have to say.
Yeah.
Well, I did have one final question there from my side, and then we're actually back on schedule again. So
that's good. That's also what innovation does.
Yeah.
Get you on schedule. That's my gift for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank
Less
you for
stress.
that. Let's keep it like that then. Okay. Yeah. So one final question. What are some of the trends you are most excited or even worried about?
Well, I think we are we live in an exciting time. What I fear is that we keep on reacting on fear, and that's what you see in society, and that's why populism is rising and rising, because we focus on fear. Things are going to change, but we need to accept and talk about it. So that is from the point of view, get away from the fear, and that's geopolitical, technological, social, and economically, because a lot of the answers, or an answer to a lot of questions, is get economically less attractive to a lot of things. So shrinking is this, in my opinion, solution, and not growing. So controlled shrinking, like honey, I shrunk the kids, but then controlled shrinking of the economy is probably the answer for a lot of things, and we do the opposite. So, and you slowly see that you see people start thinking about, okay, there's an end to growth. So that's I don't know what I fear, but I'm curious about that. And I was also curious about, the institutions that need to change from governments, management layers. We live in an industrial society. Our sewer system, our electricity system, our roads, they're all end of life. And we have this digital industry that can solve a lot of problems, can assist us to get, a better society. And I think that's a good end, but then, because we're back to AMS-IX.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 So, well, yeah, I'm just thinking you're saying shrinking, and we just heard actually how exponential growth is.
Yeah, but that's not the answer.
No,
but that, I have to look at, change this perspective. That's what you do. Yeah. What you need to do.
Well, I do like different perspectives, so that's perfect. I'll throw in the question one more time. Are there any questions from the audience, or do we say that's it? That's it. I think
they're
also
hungry.
Don't have any on the Mentimeter. I don't know if you have anything else that you want to address.
I think differently. In that kind of, I really like the campaign from Apple 25 years ago. Yeah. Think differently. Think.
And that's what we have you for.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are interested in the time services, tomorrow there is a panel for that. I don't know what time anymore. I thought just after the coffee break tomorrow. There will be a long panel about that where we will deep dive into how crucial timing is. I will come back to crucial timing in a second as well. At the same time, if you are interested in the traffic radar working group, please reach out to Jan. And he will be more than happy to guide you to the right place or get in touch with you. And other than that...
No, if you want to join the FIX work group also, you know.
Oh, yeah, another one. FIX work group, if you want to join that one, please let Jan know as well.
Yeah.
And then that's it for this, well, for now. Jan, thank you very much.
5 minutes back.
Hey, we have some...
Thank you.